please be seated and turn to your liturgy book, page 2, for today's daily liturgy. Gata of Atonement, all evil karma ever committed by me, sins of old on account of my beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and thought. Now I atone for it all evil karma ever committed by me, sins of old on account of my beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and thought. Now I atone for it all evil karma ever committed by me, sins of old on account of my beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and thought. Now I atone for it all. Nikaya 3, Refuges. Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. I take refuge in Buddha. I take refuge in Buddha. I take refuge in Dharma. I take refuge in Dharma. I take refuge in Sangha. I take refuge in Sangha. The 5 remembrances. I am of the nature to grow old. There is no way to escape growing old. I am of the nature to have ill health. There is no way to escape having ill health. I am of the nature to die. There is no way to escape death. All that is dear to me and everyone I love are of the nature of change. There is no way to escape being separated from them. My deeds are my closest companions. I am the beneficiary of my deeds. My deeds are the ground on which I stand. I am of the nature to grow old. There is no way to escape growing old. I am of the nature to have ill health. There is no way to escape having ill health. I am of the nature to die. There is no way to escape death. All that is dear to me and everyone I love are of the nature of change. There is no way to escape being separated from them. My deeds are my closest companions. I am the beneficiary of my deeds. My deeds are the ground on which I stand. I am of the nature to grow old. There is no way to escape growing old. I am of the nature to have ill health. There is no way to escape having ill health. I am of the nature to die. There is no way to escape death. All that is dear to me and everyone I love are of the nature of change. There is no way to escape being separated from them. My deeds are my closest companions. I am the beneficiary of my deeds. My deeds are the ground on which I stand. This precious human life, rarely encountered, is easily lost. Now that I have life and opportunity, may I practice the Dharma wholeheartedly. Mahayana Refuge. In my heart, I take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. May I liberate suffering beings and bring them to great joy. May the compassionate spirit of love grow within me, that I may actualize the great way. In my heart, I take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. May I liberate suffering beings and bring them to great joy. May the compassionate spirit of love grow within me, that I may actualize the great way. In my heart, I take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. May I liberate suffering beings and bring them to great joy. May the compassionate spirit of love grow within me, that I may actualize the great way. Invocation of the lineage. I give thanks for the guidance of my teachers, for the lineage of teachers before them. I give thanks and offerings for their devoted practice of generosity, moral discipline, patience, joyful effort, concentration, wisdom, skillful means, unshakable vow, spiritual powers, and awakening awareness for my benefit. May their years of life be lengthened, may their vows be completely realized, and may I cultivate these perfections with their guidance. 7 practices of the Bodhisattva. I bow down in body, speech, and mind. I offer the best I have to give, both real and imagined, to fill the space between us. I regret and purify all transgressions. I rejoice in all virtues. I request you to remain until total enlightenment. I request wise and compassionate guidance. I dedicate my merit for the sake of all beings. Generating love and compassion, may all sentient beings be free from clinging and hatred. Being close to some and distant from others, how wonderful it would be. May this be accomplished. I will free them from clinging and hatred. Bless me to accomplish this. May all sentient beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. How wonderful it would be. May this be accomplished. I will bring them happiness and the causes of happiness. Bless me to accomplish this. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. How wonderful it would be. May this be accomplished. I will free them from suffering and the causes of suffering. Bless me to accomplish this. May all sentient beings have the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from clinging, hatred, jealousy, miserliness, doubt, pride, wrong view, ignorance, and dualistic thoughts. How wonderful it would be. May this be accomplished. I will bring them to this state. Bless me to accomplish this. Please stand for the Heart Sutra, found on page 4. Great Prajna Paramita Heart Sutra. Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva practicing deep Prajna Paramita clearly saw that all 5 skandhas are empty, transforming all suffering and distress. Shariputra, form is no other than emptiness. Emptiness, no other than form. Form is exactly emptiness. Emptiness exactly form, sensation, perception, mental reaction, consciousness are also like this. Shariputra, all things are essentially empty, not born, not destroyed, not stained, not pure, without loss, without gain. Therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no sensation, perception, mental reaction, consciousness, no eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, no color, sound, smell, taste, touch, object of thought, no seeing, and so on, to no thinking, no ignorance, and also no ending of ignorance, and so on, to no old age and death, and also no ending of old age and death, no suffering, cause of suffering, cessation, path, no wisdom, and no attainment, since there is nothing to attain. The Bodhisattva lives by prajna paramita, with no hindrance in the mind, no hindrance, and therefore no fear, far beyond elusive thinking. Right here is nirvana. All Buddhas of past, present, and future live by prajna paramita, attaining anyuttara samyak sambodhi. Therefore know that prajna paramita is the great sacred mantra, the great vivid mantra, the unsurpassed mantra, the supreme mantra, which completely removes all suffering. This is truth, not mere formality. Therefore set forth the prajna paramita mantra, set forth this mantra and proclaim gate gate para, gate parsam, gate bodhisvaha, gate gate para, gate parsam, gate bodhisvaha, gate gate para, gate parsam, gate bodhisvaha. Infinite realms of light and dark convey the Buddha mind. All that is and we ourselves come forth in perfect harmony. We offer this sincere and devoted practice for the many beings of the 6 worlds, and dedicate it in grateful thanks to the strength and sound practice of the great Heartland Sangha and its teachers. May our virtuous actions be clear from all interferences, and may our vows be fully realized. We especially dedicate these merits to all those who suffer as a result of injustices, calamity, cruelty, and war, and to Jasmine, Taylor, Butsuyo, Nancy, Christy, Shozo, Josh, Deirdre, Jack, Finn, Ando, Eason, Karna, Chrissy, Griffin, Greg, Chris, John, Charles, Stephen, Reverend Eugen, Laverne, Roger, Evan, Sarah, Darcy. May they have peace and healing. And to Sokai, Becky, Cheryl, Wesley, Karen, Jerry, and Xander at the times of their death, and to those whom we hold in the silence of our hearts, and those whose voices we now voice aloud. May we live in perfect peace with Buddha Dharma. And may we realize the Buddha way together. Throughout space and time, all honored ones, Bodhisattva, Mahasattvas, wisdom beyond wisdom, Mahaprajna, Paramita. Dharma School participants and teachers may leave the zendo for class, and everyone else please be seated for zazen. recite the Song of Covenant, which you can find in your liturgy book on page 8. We, the Daishin Kokuji Saga, with respect for the worth and dignity of each person, with wonder at the wisdom and compassion we seek to cultivate by practice, and with deep gratitude for the teachers of this lineage and our connection to one another, covenant to support each other by upholding the precepts of doing no harm, practicing good, and actualizing good for others. Please be seated comfortably so you can see the teacher come forward. And shortly we will recite the Gatha on Opening Sutra. Gatha on Opening the Sutra. The Dharma incomparably profound and infinitely subtle.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. Here we are at the end of our summer training period. And we can feel the quality of the light is changing. And little brown things starting to appear on the flowers. Last night, the Golden Road, which is this sort of venue where Roshi plays, was having an all-out Labor Day blowout concert until all hours of the night. And of course, the nights are cooler and the mornings are cooler. We have this great fortune to have a screened-in porch at the Abbey, and it's wonderful to sit out there in the morning with the birds and the sunrise. In addition, the mandala of the temple has been growing and changing, and you can feel that everyone's practice is leveling up. And with that comes some growing pains, but mostly lots of joy. And just to be at ease and graceful with the growing pains is really an important part of our practice. Because as we know, there's lots of growing pains throughout our life. And if we can practice it here, we can practice it anywhere, as that great song about New York says. You can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. So they didn't know about the Buddhist temple of Toledo at that time. Okay, we're also working with and honoring Soke's death, which is just an unspeakable, true Sangha jewel gift that she has given us, that she has said, yes, I want the Sangha to be with me in this death process. And to that end, all of the temple activities towards the end of the week will be folded into the funeral. So keep an eye out for that. Soke's white rakusu is in the teacher's room, and we have yet to stamp it. It was actually made while she was dying by the sewing team. In Buddhism, death is a huge, huge opportunity because we get to directly experience the Dharmakaya, the clear light, the unobstructed Buddha, body of the Buddha. And it's very interesting that Soke died on the same day as Wei Nong. And Wei Nong is an ancestor of ours, a very important considered to be one of the, if not the pillar of the Sudden School of Zen, with a very clear, almost singular focus on Kensho, on awakening, on touching, embodying, realizing this Dharmakaya while we are alive. And somehow it seems that Soke is, this is her message to us. And fascinatingly, Wei Neng and Soke are very karmically intertwined. We recite the Diamond Sutra as part of the vigil. There'll be a 24-hour vigil of chanting of various texts. And Wei Neng came to awakening hearing a phrase from the Diamond Sutra. And the phrase was, "Bring forth the mind that abides nowhere." Bring forth the mind that abides nowhere. What is that? What is that? You can feel that abiding nowhere is this direct pointing to the Dharmakaya. No obstruction. And he's going to go to great lengths in this reading that we're going to do to remind us that the work of finding this mind that abides nowhere, unobstructed, is found right here, right now. Yeah, let that kind of give you a little jolt. This mind of the Dharmakaya is found right here, right now. It's very interesting that we've had Wei Neng up on the altar for his Memorial Day, and in a short amount of time, we will have Soke next on the altar, a picture of her. So as I said, she really is quite karmically entwined with this teaching. Let's look a little bit about the life and times of Wei Neng, just so we can get a feeling for him. So he was born in the Tang Dynasty, which is considered to be the golden age of China. So this was a time of great prosperity, lots of cultural innovation. He was 75 years old when he died, so he lived a long life for being born in 638 and dying in 713. That's pretty extraordinary. So the Tang Dynasty was characterized especially by the clearing out of all of the bandits along the Silk Road, right? And the Silk Road was this major, major trading route. And the capital was called Chang'an, and it is said that merchants from Persia India, Arabia, Syria, Korea, and Japan were all bustling around in this city. So it was a major cultural hub for the Eastern Hemisphere. Perhaps most of the civilized world's knowledge, at least in that part of the world, would have been present and had lots of interchange. Interestingly, we're living in a similar time, right? With the internet, all of the world's knowledge, especially wisdom teachings, spiritual teachings, are now literally in the palm of our hand. There's also a cool part of the Tang Dynasty that has to do with horses. So it was kind of dear to my heart, and I wanted to talk about that. If you've been to P.F. Chang's, in Fallen Timbers, but it's a chain, so like if you go to Boston or New York or whatever, you can go to P.F. Chang's. And what you see when you're walking in is these huge horse sculpture, right? The Tang Dynasty horses. And I happen to have little Tang Dynasty horses all around the abbey. The breed actually no longer exists. Isn't that interesting? It was from this very fertile valley. They were from this very fertile valley in China. And I think they may have gone extinct. Many horse breeds go extinct due to war. But these horses were so important and such a symbol of the Tang Dynasty that the emperor had, I guess he rode 6 different Tang Dynasty horses into battle, and he had an image of them carved in stone, and he put them all around, he had them put all around his tomb. So, horses are important in Buddhism as well. It's said that the mind, the heart mind that continues after death, rides the wind horse. So the breath, the wind, the ruha is the horse that keeps us moving, right? No more breath, no more wind horse, no more place for the mind to rest and ride, and we're dead. Just to touch on a little bit of not only there was cultural diversity, there was also religious diversity in the Tang Dynasty. The Nestorian Christian Church established itself in China, yes, during the Tang Dynasty. Just take that in, right? The emperor invited this Christian monk to build a church. Interestingly, this Nestorian Christianity was a little bit fringy. That's probably why they went to China. They had this idea that Jesus was of 2 natures, divine and human, and they were separate. And as I hear that, I think, oh, that's so interesting. I wonder if when they heard that, they thought, oh, that must be the Christian's way of talking about form and emptiness, but we bring them together. well, wait a minute, maybe they do bring them together because they have that cross, right? The form and the emptiness come together. So the symbol in China for this church was the cross with a lotus on top of it. Isn't that fascinating? The second thing that's kind of interesting is that Buddhism was still considered to be a foreign religion, right? It was supplanting Confucianism. So I'm saying all this because you can feel the dynamism of the culture sort of swashing around, right? It's the same for us today. We're kind of sloshing around in all of these different attention. Where do we put our attention? There's so many different religious practices and so forth and so on. During the Tang Dynasty, Buddhism started to get very ascendant because one of the rulers, the only female emperor, an empress, was around during the Tang Dynasty, and she loved Buddhism. So she was really into building temples. So there would have been Buddhist monks on pilgrimage all over China. And it happens that Wei Neng was a young boy, and he was illiterate, he was poor, and he had to support his widowed mother. So he went out and about and did that by picking up sticks. Just imagine that. Picking up sticks and selling them for firewood. So you can feel that elemental life that he had, and also a life really saturated with grief and loss, and really no good prospects. Poor, illiterate, lost his father. It doesn't say what the emotional, mental state of his mother was. Maybe he lost his mother too to grief. We don't know. But as it happened, he was out picking up sticks, and a monk was on pilgrimage reciting the Diamond Sutra. Now, we will be reciting the Diamond Sutra for Soke as part of the vigil. And I said earlier, Wei Neng heard the phrase, "Bring forth the mind that abides nowhere." And even though he was poor and destitute, without prospects, he awakened to the reality of that, what that monk was saying. So I say this because each one of us has a life 10 times, 1,000 times more comfortable than Wei Neng. Even in the midst of grief, even in the midst of sorrow, even in the midst of our grieving, it's okay. Awakening is here. All right, let's listen to what Weinong has to say. The pure nature, our pure nature, okay? You actually have to be able to go there. Your pure nature. Do you have any inkling? What does that feel like? You know, it's a long way away from original sin. This is one of the hallmarks of Buddhism is that we start with original goodness. The pure nature exists in the midst of delusions. So our pure nature exists in the midst of our wackadoodle life. How are you going to know that? How are you going to practice that? Zazen. That's how you're going to know that, and that's how you're going to practice that. Because if you don't find a way to cut through the narrative story-making, samsaric, delusioned, kind of really wackadoodle mind, your mind won't let you rest. We all know this. My mind will not let me rest. Nevertheless, the pure nature exists in the midst of delusion. And we all have intimations of this. We've all had a direct experience of this. There's not one person sitting in this room that has not had a direct experience of this. We know it, but we cover it up because that samsaric ego comes whoosh right back in and takes it for its own. With correct motivation, bodhicitta, the mind of enlightenment, that I will achieve full and complete Buddhahood in order to bring all beings to full and complete Buddhahood. That in itself is a big, huge step. But anybody who's practicing in this room, sincerely, must find their way into this motivation. And we do all kinds of things to help each other get there. Lots of teachings. Lots of being together and showing each other what it feels like and what it looks like, right? With correct motivation, remove the 3 obstacles. So, the 3 obstacles: negative emotions, greed, anger, jealousy, miserliness, doubt, pride. The reason why we say that daily in liturgy is to remind ourselves, what are we up against here? What do I have to recognize is an obstacle, is a negative emotion, is a problem that I've got to deal with? So there's no excuse like for anybody saying, oh, I didn't know. It's not my fault, I didn't know. Ignorance of the law is something, something, something. Okay. Negative emotions, negative karma, right? So we can be going along having a great, everything's great, and then wham, right? Something from our past comes up. Where the heck did that come from, right? How we encounter that, what is that? Oh my God, this is horrible. How we encounter that is Dharma practice, 1,000, 1,000,000%. If we use that as all the ingredients of our life for awakening, nothing can stop us. Okay? Normally what happens is something very painful comes up, and the pain body goes, oh, more pain, right? And just multiplies itself. The Dharma goes in the exact opposite direction. It says, oh, negative karma is arising, and this is really good news. I can use this for awakening. I bow down. When difficult things occur, it is best to bow down. This is the Buddha appearing before us, getting us to cut the crap. Stop. And interestingly, Wei Nung has a third one. Normally, negative emotions and negative karma are the two big obstacles. But he puts a third one in here. It is revenge, retribution, right? How many times are we out for blood because we have been harmed? I've been there, done that. You know, it always bites me in the butt. I don't know about you. It never works out. Okay. Just read the rest. If people in this world practice the Dharma, the way, there is nothing whatsoever to hinder them, because everything that is arising is used for practice. Honestly, if you just get that far, my God, you've got it, you're in. This is the Dharma arising, with its attendant emptiness is form, form is emptiness. Emptiness being no inherent existence, nothing fixed, everything coming because of all these causes and conditions that we can't possibly account for. Here it is. If they make clear the guilt within themselves, and here the guilt within ourselves is these negative emotions, revenge, retribution, negative karma, then they will accord with the way. All living things of themselves possess the way. So, we are the way. You don't have to do one damn thing to get something else that you need in order to awaken. Always here, always now. I mean, take that in. If you part from the way and seek it elsewhere, seek it you may, but find it you will not. And in the end, indeed, you will be disappointed. Because the jewel of the Dharma is, you already possess it. Why are you looking somewhere else? You got the diamond. If you aspire to attain the way, practice correctly, And if you're wondering, oh, I don't know what practice correctly is, just hang around. Listen to the teachings, right? Listen to each other. Be with each other. We all polish each other. If in yourself you do not have the correct bodhicitta, you will be walking in darkness and will not see the way. This is interesting. If you are a person who truly practices the way, do not look at the ignorance of the world. Okay? Jesus said, the poor you will always have with you. Don Juan says, the ignorant you will always have with you. Okay. So please do not be surprised. For if you see the wrong of people in the world, being wrong yourself, you will be the evil. So if you keep on focusing on the negative emotions in others, as well as yourself, if you keep on focusing on the negative karma, which is abundantly obvious and clear in the world, right? Not only in the world, in ourselves, you will be a person of this. The Dharma cuts through, beams through all the gloom. Beam through all the gloom. This is our birthright. This is our birthright. Our birthright is to be Buddhas. Unconditional love, unconditional compassion, total clarity of mind, complete, pristine understanding of true reality. Knowing it for ourselves and relieving the suffering of others, bringing them to this state. This is the teaching of Wei Nang, and this teaching is intimately bound with Sokei's life and Sokei's death. May it be so.